Object-oriented programming in Python. If you are looking for a Python project that effectively demonstrates OOPS concept, then this is the video for you, where I discuss creating an OOPS-based Python project. This is a great way to practice your programming skills. Here I will discuss a simple project idea, a library management. This project I will involve creating classes for books, user and the library itself. Firstly, I give a project overview for creating classes for book, user, library. Second, we have to add functionality of library like add books to the library, register users, borrow and return books, list available books, list of borrowed books by user. So let's get started.
Open PyCharm ID and create a new project. Click on File, New Project, and write project name is Library Management System. Select Python version and then create. Have to create class for book, user, and library. So firstly, we create new Python file for book class. Py this file is created and we have to construct class. We have to write class for book. So here book is the class name, and firstly we have to declare constructor, and in constructor we provided values title, author, and one more attribute we have to change here, ISBN number. Okay, and this instance in constructor we have to declare and initialize instance variable. So using self means current object. Within the class we have if we have to access object, then we use self. Okay, so self dot title, self dot author, and self dot ISB number we have to declare here, and one more attribute for related book we have to declare here, and this is the availability of book. The current book is available or not is checked here. So is borrowed, and firstly we have to assign is borrowed is false because this book is not borrowed. To return book information we have to return here. So I print self dot title, self dot author, and self dot ISBN number. Okay, so this is this book class is ready. The second class we have to create here for user. So right click on library and create a Python file for user or member of the library. Okay, so here I declare member .py file is generated here, and we have to create class for member, declare constructor, and in constructor only we have to provide name of the member, and within the constructor we declare an initialize instance variable self.name, and in member constructor we have to declare one list for book is borrowed book list is declare. Okay, so here I declare one list here, and in constructor we initialize its name and list of borrowed book. Okay, so next method is def. Here I have to declare two methods for borrowed book and return book. Okay, so here I write function for borrowed book, and in this function we have to pass which book we have to borrow. Okay, so I pass its reference book, and firstly check this book is borrowed or not. In this book its value is borrowed is false, so check this book is it's available or not, its status. So here I check the condition if book if not book dot its attribute is borrowed, is status. Here I access its status. This book current book status is borrowed. Currently this value is false. That means this false, not false, that means true. If this book is not borrowed, then this value is true, and then this condition is true. Okay. When this book is not borrowed, then we can borrow this book. So the current user, so the we can add, we can use this book. So in user borrowed book list, in this list we can append this book. Okay, we can append this book, and for after borrowing its status, we have to change its status. So I change its status, book dot is borrowed is true. Okay, that means this book is borrowed. And print information, this book is borrowed, and if this condition is false, that means already this book is borrowed. If already its value is true, then this condition is false, and if this condition is false, then in else statement we have to print already. Okay, so here one method is declare for borrowing book. Second method we have to declare for when this book is returned, then this user return book, then this book information we have to access here. Firstly, I check here this book is in borrowed list or not. Okay, this book is borrowed or not. Firstly, I have to check. So book in self borrowed book, that means in its book list this book is present or not, and if this book is present in its borrowed list, then after borrowing the status of this book is changed, is borrowed, then its status is changed, and this book is removed from its borrowed list. Okay, so self dot borrowed book, this book list, borrowed book list, this book is removed. Okay, and give the message self the student return book. Okay, and if this book is not present in its borrow list, then we have to print here does not have the book name and borrowed. That means this particular student does not have this particular. One more function we have to add, a list of borrowed book. Okay, so here I define list of book, or print here this particular member borrow book, and we have to iterate this book one by one here. So book in borrow list, so one by one we can iterate this book and print book title. Okay, and if this condition borrow book is empty, or this condition is false, then we have to print here has no borrow book. This particular student or user not borrow book. So these are the three functionality of this member. And one more class we have to declare here for library. So Python file for library we have to declare here. Firstly we declare class for library. Okay, so in library firstly we have to construct constructor, and in library In library, when we create library object, then two list we have to create for book list and another is for member. Okay, so here instance variable we here declare for book list books, firstly for books and second one is for member. So in library we declare two list for books and member. So this is the constructor of library. And second one, we have to add its functionality. First method for add books. So firstly, we have to add books. When we add books, then in book list, we have to add this book. Okay, and next for user, we have to add member in our library. Again, save.member.append in library. Using append method, we can add book and member. Okay, and one more function of library is list of book. List of book. So again, list books we have to. So in list of book, all book list we have to display here. Using for loop we can iterate one by one book from books list. Okay, so book in self.book. And also when we iterate one by one book from books list, also we have to check this particular book is borrowed or not. So check is its condition. If book is borrowed, this condition is true. This condition is true, then this book is unavailable. So print here. So here we can print this book title. If this book is not borrowed, then in else statement we have to print this book is available. This particular book is available. Okay, so first function is library function is add book, add second one is add member, third one is list of book is display, and next we have to declare method. So next method we have to declare here for borrow book. So here borrow book we declare. When member book is borrow, then its name, member name and book ISBN number we have to provide it. Okay, so firstly I have to check this member and this book uh, is this firstly we have to check this member is valid or this library member we have to check firstly, and then we have to check this book is our library book. This book is library book. So firstly we declare here member is equal to none, member from member list, and check this member name and provided name. A member list both are same, provided name and name from the member list are same. If this condition is true, then assign the member uh, member is equal to the valid member. Okay, and then break. Similarly, this process is carry for book for validation, book validation. Okay, so firstly we assign book is equal to none, and um, then iterate one by one book from book list and check its name if b.isbn number and provided ISBN number is same, and if this condition is true, then assign book is equal to B and then break. Okay, so member and book, after validation member and book we have to check condition, and condition is if member and book and when member this book is borrowed, firstly we have to check this book is present or not. That means is borrowed condition we have to check here. So if not borrowed, if book is not borrowed, then this condition is true and we can add this book in member borrow list. Okay, so if this condition is true, then member dot borrow book, this method is called and this book is added in his borrow list. Okay, and print here this member dot name borrowed this particular book. And if this book or member are not valid, or if this book is already borrowed, then in else statement we have to print here. Okay, so this method is for borrow book. Similarly, we have to declare one more method for return book. When member return book, then we have to declare here for return book. Okay, return book, and same we have to provided name, member name and ISB number when we return this book. So first we have to declare member none, then one by one iterate member from member list and check this member name from member list and provided name is same, then assign member name and then break. Then break this statement, and again for similar process for ISB number for book validation. Okay, so firstly book assign none, then using for loop one by one book from book list we have to iterate and check its ISB number. If both are same, then assign book and then break. Okay, and then next we have to check condition if member and book and member dot borrow borrowed hyphen books. Okay, so in member borrow list, this book is present or not, firstly we have to check. And if this condition is true, in the borrow list this book is present, then this member return this book and print here this member return book. This particular book is written. Okay, and if this condition is false, then we have to print here book is not borrowed by this member or member not found. Book is not borrowed or member not found. Okay, so here we create book class for book, class for member and class for library. So in main function we have to create UI, user interface. So firstly we clean this code, remove this code firstly. Okay, and start here. So firstly we have to create library, object of library. So library is equal to, firstly we create library, object of library, and import library file here. Okay, and by default firstly we can add book name. Okay, so by using reference library dot add books, this method, library method, we use here. And when we add this book in library, check here, add book. So book object we have to pass in this function. So firstly we have to create book object. So b is equal to book, and import this book. Okay, and pass its attribute, like firstly I give the information of book. So firstly I pass Java, title of book, then author is James Gosling, and ISB number is by default I use this. Okay, so I firstly I create object for book and assign its value, its attribute. And after creating object, this book object, we can pass to this library add book. So when we add this book, when this method is called, then this book is added in this book list. Okay, similarly we have to also create member. Okay, so using member, firstly we have to create, so import member and pass here only for member, pass its name, member name we can pass here. Okay, and add this member in library add member. Okay, so firstly we cover this in library. In our library we added books and display, I use while true and print here some message to the user for performing some action, like show list, add user, add book. For this we have to give message to the user. So firstly I give the message, so I use the message welcome to the library, welcome to KBP library. Okay, and second message, here I give list for functionality of library. So first list is add book. So if we have to add book, then we can choose option 1. Second option is for add member. Third option is for, firstly we give the message to the user for choice the number, and hold this choice in choice variable. Choice is equal to input, enter your choice and check this choice. If choice is exactly equal to 1, then first is add book. First choice is for add book. And when we select first option, user select add book first option, then for adding book, firstly we have to take its title. Book title is equal to input from enter book title. Okay, and author also we have to author, also input author, book author, and one more is ISB number. Okay, and this book is ready. So here I create book object, or add and add its attribute, title, author, ISBN. And after creating book, we have to add this book in library using add book method. Okay, so first choice is completed. Then next choice is, if user select, else if user selects second choice, and second choice is for add member. So firstly we have to give name of the member and create member object for member, and then add this member to the library. Okay, second second is borrow book. Okay, when member borrow book, then this condition is true. Choice select choice is exact. Select this choice. Third choice is selected, and firstly give the information from user from member. When borrow book, then firstly books related information, that means ISB number and member name. So firstly I give information of member. So input member name. So here I change member name, and second I have to give ISB number, book ISB number. Okay, and this information we have to pass to the library dot borrow book, this method we have to pass this information. First one is name of member, and second one is ISB number. We have to pass. Okay, so this is the third choice completed. Next choice, when user select fourth, return book. We have to pass these things. So I copy this and change fourth choice. And when user member return book, then return method we have to call and give the information of member name and ISB number. Okay, and next choice is list of book. So when we choose next choice, is fifth choice, then we have to print list. So only we have to call library dot list method. Okay, so this list method we have to call for print library book information. Okay, and next, else if choice is 6, then exist. And so in library management system, firstly we create book class, and in book class we create book for attributes, title, author, ISBN number, and its functionality is give the information. Okay, and second class is for members related, its name and borrow list, its attribute, and its functionality, like this member borrow book, return book, and its list of borrowed book. Okay, and third library class, for library we selected, and in library class we create in library we create two instance variable, books and member. we declare two lists. When this library object is created, then these two lists are also created, and the functionality of library is add book, add member, list of book is display, borrow book, and return book. These are the functionality of the library. And in main function, firstly we create library object and assign add books and add member in library firstly, and then give the message to the user for performing further action like add book, add member, borrow book, return book, list of book. Okay. And okay, so our library management system, this project is ready, and so I run it, and this message is display on console. Okay, so firstly I choose option fifth, and it gives available Java is one book is available, so I add one more book. So title, book title is Python, and author is Guido, and ISB number is 123123. Okay, so this book is added, so we can see this book using fifth option. Java and Python is available. Okay, so one more option, we try second option, add member. So I become member. I become a member of library. So I add member. Okay, so after becoming membership, I borrow book from library. So I select third options, and I give my information to the library, and ISB number. This book is, I have this book. So here SMP borrowed Python and SMP two message display here, because when we choose this option borrow, borrow is a third option. So library borrow book, this method is called. So this method is here, borrow book. And firstly check this member and book is valid, and if this book is valid, member is valid, and if this book is not borrowed, then member dot borrow book, this method is called. This method is in member class, and after borrowing, this status is changed, and this book is append in our borrow list. And here give message this person borrowed book, and also when return to this borrow book method, then also again here again this message is repeated. So for this reason here two times message is displayed. Okay, and next after some days we return this book to the library. So I choose option 4, and I give my information, I am this person, and return this book. ISB number book I return. So SMP return book, SMP return Python, SMP return Python. Okay, so if you like this video, then please like and subscribe. And also I give this library management system program, its link or GitHub link I give in description box. Okay, thank you.